Trump just signed an order that could let XRP plug directly into the US banking system, and there is a 60-day countdown running right now that most people in this space completely missed. Let me explain what that actually means for you. Right now, when you send money internationally, say from the US to the Philippines, it does not go directly. It bounces through a chain of middlemen banks, each one taking a fee and adding a day or two to the process. A transfer that should take seconds ends up taking 3 to 5 days and costing a small fortune in fees. This is the system Ripple has been trying to replace since day one. But here is the problem. Even Ripple, with all its technology and partnerships, still has to work with those same middlemen banks to connect into the official US payment system. They cannot just plug directly into the Federal Reserve's infrastructure until now. On May 19th, Trump signed an executive order telling the Federal Reserve to open that door, to let crypto and fintech companies apply for something called a master account, which is basically a direct line into the Fed's payment rails. The same access that traditional banks have had for decades. This would let Ripple move money without needing a middleman at all. The Fed then opened up applications for this access. But here is the twist. They immediately paused new applications until the end of 2026 while they finalize the rules. So only the companies already in the queue get considered this year. Ripple is one of only 3 companies in that queue right now. The other 2 are a crypto bank called Anchorage Digital and an international payments company called Wise. Every other crypto firm has to wait until 2027 at the earliest. Ripple is already in the room. Now, Trump's order set a 90-day window for the Fed to make decisions. That clock started May 19th, which means we are now less than 60 days away from the first answer. If Ripple gets approved, it becomes a direct participant in the US financial system, not a company working around the edges of the banking world, an actual piece of the infrastructure. That is a completely different conversation than anything a court ruling or a regulatory classification has been able to deliver so far. And for the token itself, the whole value thesis has always been about real utility, being the bridge that moves money between institutions instantly and cheaply. Direct Federal Reserve access is not hype. It is the infrastructure that makes that thesis real in the most concrete way possible. Now, the honest part. This is not guaranteed. The Fed makes the final call and could approve with conditions, take longer than expected, or reject outright. Traditional banks are already lobbying against this because it directly threatens their business model. And even if Ripple gets approved, building real payment volume through that new access takes time. But this story is different from the Clarity Act saga, where everything depends on Senate vote counts and political deals. This one is cleaner. A signed order from the president, a specific timeline, 3 named companies, and a deadline less than 60 days away. Watch for 2 things. First, the Fed releasing its revised application framework by late June that will tell us how open or restrictive this access actually is. Second, any announcement of an approval for any of the 3 companies in the queue. The moment one of them gets the green light, the race becomes very real, very fast. Trump started the clock. Ripple has a head start. And we are 60 days from finding out if this changes everything. As always, this is not financial advice. Do your own research before making any decisions.